Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some fascinating and frankly bizarre accounts from ancient Greece about India. These stories, recorded by early Greek travelers like Megasthenes and Strabo, offer us a glimpse into the mind of the ancient world. But what's especially interesting is how their limited understanding of Indian culture led to some truly strange interpretations. So let's take a look at these peculiar observations. Let's start with one of the most outlandish claims from Megasthenes' accounts. He described Indian ants as being the size of dogs. Yes, you heard that right. Not only were they massive, but these ants were said to dig up gold from the ground. Now, we know today that there are no ants the size of dogs in India, or anywhere for that matter. But this just goes to show how early travelers often mixed reality with fantasy, making their stories more captivating, or perhaps more unbelievable, for their audiences. Moving on to another strange account by the Greek historian Strabo, we have the story of Indian monks committing self-immolation by fire. One monk, Kalanos, is said to have walked into a fire as a sign of extreme devotion. To the Greeks, this practice was utterly mystifying. While asceticism and intense devotion were known in Greek culture, the idea of literally burning oneself alive was beyond comprehension for them. This ritual, part of India's spiritual traditions, seem both foreign and bewildering to Greek eyes. Next, let's talk about animals. The Greeks had some pretty wild descriptions of India's wildlife. Take the Indian elephant, for example. Yes, we all know elephants are big, but the Greeks gave these creatures almost mythical qualities. They were said to be not just strong, but extraordinarily powerful, even superhuman in some of the accounts. The Greek fascination with these animals is a testament to how much they were in awe of the unknown. Then there's the issue of social structure. Now, the Greeks were no strangers to hierarchical societies, but when they encountered the rigid caste system in India, it left them scratching their heads. The divisions between social groups in India seem far more rigid and intricate than anything the Greeks were used to. To them, the idea of people being born into fixed social categories was strange, and perhaps even unsettling. Megasthenes noted a Cummer's seven-caste system. In his accounts of India, specifically in his work Indica, he described the social structure as comprising 7 distinct classes, which included 1. Brahmins, the smallest group responsible for religious rituals and sacrifices. 2. Kshatriyas, the warrior and ruling class. 3rd, farmers, the most numerous and respected class, exempt from military service. 4th, herdsmen, responsible for livestock and agriculture. 5. Artisans, skilled workers involved in various crafts. 6. Administrators and counselors, those involved in governance and public affairs. 7. Peasants, engaged in agricultural work. Megasthenes' classification differed from the traditional four-varna system, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, recognized in later texts. His account reflects his interpretation of Indian society based on his observations and interactions during his time at the Mauryan court. However, the accuracy and consistency of his observations have been debated by historians, as they do not align perfectly with later understandings of the caste system in India. Megasthenes did describe the Indians as being tall and well-built. So in his accounts, he noted that they were shaped thin and tall, and remarked on their agility compared to other peoples. This observation reflects his impressions of the physical characteristics of the Indian population he encountered during his time at the Mauryan court. Additionally, he differentiated between various groups, noting that those living in the Indus River Valley were particularly notable for their stature and courage compared to other regional groups. Megasthenes provided several observations regarding the physical characteristics of Indians in his work Indica. Some of the unique attributes he noted include: 1. Tall stature. He described Indians as generally tall and well-built, emphasizing their physical strength and agility. 2. Complexion. Megasthenes mentioned that Indians had a variety of skin tones, but he often associated them with darker complexions, similar to those of Ethiopians due to the region's climate. 3. Hair. He noted that Indians had long hair, which was often worn in various styles, reflecting cultural practices. 4. Robustness. He commented on the overall robustness and health of the Indian population, attributing it to their diet and lifestyle. Distinctive features. Megasthenes also referred to various tribes with multiple toes or other peculiar traits, though these descriptions were likely exaggerated or mythical. These observations illustrate both Megasthenes' fascination with Indian society and the limitations of his understanding of its diverse populations. His accounts reflect a blend of accurate observations and fantastical elements common in ancient travel narratives. Lastly, the Greeks reported on various cultural practices in India that seemed downright exotic or downright bizarre, depending on their perspective. This includes unique rituals, especially ones involving fire, offerings, and elaborate ceremonies. These practices, so different from Greek religious traditions, were often met with both wonder and confusion. So what can we take away from all of this? These strange accounts reveal a lot about the differences between Greek and Indian cultures. They also reflect the tendency of early travelers to embellish, exaggerate, or simply misunderstand what they encountered. But at the same time, these stories also show the Greeks' deep fascination with India and awe that would shape many of their views for centuries to come. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the strange and sometimes fantastical views the Greeks had of ancient India. Let me know what you think about these accounts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future explorations into history's most intriguing stories. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.